It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was f***ed up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
I don't think this apology is sincere. I believe he feels bad because he was caught. I believe he is humiliated that people are finally seeing him for who he truly is, since he tried to hide this side of himself by rebranding himself as Dr. P. Diddy Love. Whatever he was going by, he called himself Brother Love, but he's clearly Brother Hate. He was filled with hatred and was placing his cruel hands on Cassie and many other men and women. And before the tape was released, he sought to reject all of the charges. He said, "Enough is enough. For the past few weeks, I've sat calmly and watched as people attempted to murder my character, destroy my reputation, and destroy my legacy. Individuals seeking a fast profit have made shocking charges about me. Let me be perfectly clear. I did not do any of the heinous things being accused. I will battle for my name, family, and the truth." Scene Diddy Combs. Goodbye, boy. Nobody wants to hear that. We don't want to hear it since we know he isn't being honest. An apology is only effective if there is subsequent behavior change. The problem with Diddy is that he did not stop his behavior after pulling and kicking Cassie at this hotel. He continued to put his hands on her. Cassie attempted to leave him following this incident. She attempted to hide, but he dispatched his men to find her. And they were threatening her, claiming that if she didn't return his calls, her hard-earned music would not be released. Also, Diddy was sending his lawyers to get her, and the lawsuit stated that every time Miss Ventura attempted to flee, Mr. Combs and his formidable network would compel her back to him. Following the hotel incident, Diddy continued to put his hands on Cassie and even attacked her friend Carrie Morgan. 2 years later, she was still desperately trying to escape. And in September 2018, he attempted to force his way into her apartment. She tried to deny him, but he forced himself on her and raped her in the worst way. So you can see why we're not believing Diddy's apology. He's apologizing for something he's done repeatedly. Diddy has been repeating his conduct, and it is no longer a mistake. These are decisions, and nobody in the world is flawless, and I understand Diddy's personal struggles. He does have a drug problem and an anger problem. And to be honest, I believe he is possessed by an evil spirit and needs to be delivered and helped by Jesus. I am very serious about this. Some people will argue that it is mental disease. It is not a mental illness. It is deeper than that. When you see someone walk out in public and shoot up a school, it's as if they're possessed. It is not a mental illness. It is a spirit, and Diddy is no exception. It is a spirit, and Diddy has not only put his hands on ladies, he also put his hands on men. He has had people who are dead. He allegedly sent threats on others. So it's not simply mental sickness. These are predetermined wicked habits. And it is truly being dictated by the demonic spirit that is in him. He needs spiritual deliverance. He actually does. Not only that, but he requires assistance in navigating the correct path. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, the spiritual advisors that he's been going to, like T.D. Jakes, haven't been helping. Okay, T.D. Jakes hasn't helped Diddy not a lick, and I hate to do it. But I have to criticize T.D. Jakes because he's out there at the parties. Diddy bopping with Diddy, but he's not telling him he needs to change, and he's not holding him accountable. He's simply there for one reason, to promote Diddy's image. In his complaint against Diddy, producer Little Rod claimed that Diddy recruited TD Jakes to help soften his image following Cassie's allegations. That is it. That is all. He wasn't really assisting him. He was allowing himself to be used by Diddy for good publicity.
I gotta give a special thank you to the people that was really there for me. Bishop TD Jakes. Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Given what we now know, this BT speech is simply evil. But as you can see, TD Jakes was not there to aid Diddy. I don't think he was actually assisting him. I believe he was there to give him good publicity in exchange for money. He received a big donation. He even secured a place on Diddy's network Rebellion before Diddy stepped down. Also, he got invited to all of the small Diddy bot parties. He received several possibilities as a result of his relationship with Diddy, and I believe he prioritized them. Above, Diddy is truly being helped to transform. Now, I'm going to say that another person cannot make another individual change. That person must wish to change. P. Diddy must want to change. But I will say that Bishop TD Jakes sacrificed his own beliefs and reputation by associating with Diddy and failing to hold him accountable. And see how it is backfiring. People now accuse him of covering up Diddy's actions. They're accusing him of a variety of things, all of which stem from that association. And now TD Jakes is in the pulpit, implicitly addressing Diddy's audio and speaking out against DV. But I'm very confident that throughout his time with Diddy, he was aware of some of the allegations. But it's no longer cool for him to be connected with Diddy. So in order to maintain his reputation, he must separate himself. He also had to openly condemn Diddy's behavior, which he did, albeit indirectly. But I honestly don't believe he would have said anything if the tape hadn't leaked. But he ought to say something now that his name has been linked to Diddy. He's been regarded as Diddy's spiritual guru. To defend his image, he must speak out against it. So this section of the sermon, in my opinion, was TD Jakes' attempt to distance himself from Diddy.
When I saw the images that have been floating all over the news all week, it became difficult to watch. The atrocious, degrading, demeaning, debauchery. I know who it was, but I saw my daughters. As a man, I saw my daughters, and it made me angry. It made me angry. And I thought, if it affected me like that as a man, how much more is that image a trigger for women who have been through that, who are currently going through that, who are in the middle of that, who feel trapped in situations where you are being physically and emotionally and verbally abused. And it is possible to feel trapped and have a key to the door and still feel trapped in a situation you can't get out of. Let me tell you a couple of things before we pray. Both for the victims and the perpetrator. There's something you need to understand. If you got a rage you can't control, if you have an emotional problem, a mental health issue where you're bipolar, and your kids get scared when they hear your car coming home, you gotta get some help, dude. You gotta get some help. You gotta come out of denial and get some help.
So here is what TD Jakes had to say. Anyway, let me know what you think of this mess down below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.